All right, everybody, we have a lot to go over this morning, starting out with Donald Trump at the Board of Peace Summit, which is kind of ironic. I mean, the whole thing is ironic. First, him appointing himself as the chairman to his own board. And second of all, I mean, the whole idea of a Board of Peace right now is a little bit ironic considering we are damn near close to a major war with Iran. Check out this article title from yesterday. It says Trump moves closer to a major war with Iran. The Trump administration is closer to a major war in the Middle East than most Americans realized. It could begin very soon, but I'm not really going to get into that too much because I want to stay focused on this. So eventually, JD Vance comes up and they mock AOC, who had a moment yesterday where she was talking at the summit in Munich, Germany, and she had a little stumble. The lady asked her a question, and she really kind of had some trouble coming up with an answer. And you know what? I get it. It happens to the best of us. It happens to me sometimes. It's fine. If it were a more frequent thing, then I'd be a little bit worried. But conservatives are kind of jumping all over this because they think it's hilarious. They think it's just awesome that one of the most well-spoken Democrats in DC had a slip-up moment. And I'll actually play that moment for you real quick. It is admittedly a little bit hard to watch. Just listen.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
You know, I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very longstanding policy of the United States.
I mean, admittedly, that was pretty hard to watch. You have to admit that was pretty rough. I mean, that was a solid 20 seconds of her really not coming up with anything. But I do have kind of a problem with people criticizing her because quite literally, this is the first time I've ever seen AOC actually stumble over her own words. She's usually very well spoken. She gave some great answers at this conference otherwise. But of course, people on the right, conservatives, and people on Fox News are jumping all over this. And it just makes me upset because, of course, they're not going to talk about the million moments Trump has during a given week about his cognitive decline. They're not going to talk about all the slip ups and all his weird, odd rambles that he goes on that have nothing to do with the question that people just asked him like 2 seconds ago. Nobody's going to talk about that. And even here, he starts to ramble a little, but I'll just play the video and I'll let you see what he says. And then I'll show you how JD Vance responds to it.
Going to eventually live up to potential. That'll be a big day. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You're my friends. You're great leaders. You're great people. And I can honestly say, you're strong leaders. You're tough leaders in many cases. And every single one that I'm looking at that's right here, I've gotten to know and I've gotten to respect. And really, you're friends of mine. And if I can help you at all, you let me know. But this is going to be something, the Board of Peace will be something that, the likes of which I don't think anybody's seen before.
Of course not.
And thank you all very much. It's a great honor. I'm going to ask JD Vance to come up and say a few words. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, very much for your leadership, but also for the kind words about me personally. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, but then after the president said that I was so smart and that I didn't want to repeat our congresswoman who froze for 20 seconds over in Munich, now I'm tempted, sir, just to freeze for 20 seconds and just stare at the cameras, and maybe they'll say nice things about me like they do about Congresswoman Cortez. But I have three very brief messages. First of all, to the
Haha, so freaking funny. Honest to God, so funny you forgot to laugh. This is just so dumb coming from JD Vance. I mean, first of all, obviously JD Vance does not know how to tell a joke. He doesn't know how to read a crowd. It's so obvious. And kind of made me think about this moment the other week. I think it was about 2 weeks ago now, when he had an interview with Megyn Kelly talking about Caitlin Collins, the journalist on CNN, who Donald Trump said a couple weeks ago, "Why don't you smile more?" Everybody knows what I'm talking about at this point, but JD Vance's response to it was just so out of touch with reality and out of touch with what the average everyday American citizen probably saw when they saw him say, "Why don't you smile more?" I mean, clearly, obviously, it was just blatant sexism and just a cover up to try to stop her from asking questions about the Epstein files. But just listen to this. Take a listen to this. It's just So cringy.
There was a moment in the Oval Office, I wasn't even in there, but I was in the West Wing, and somebody sent me where he was talking to Caitlin Collins, who's the CNN anchor. And I have like a decent relationship with Caitlin Collins, which is unusual given that she's from CNN. But the president, she's asking a question. The president says, "Why don't you ever smile?"
Yeah.
And it's actually like so perceptive. Even if you're asking a tough question,
It's so out of touch with reality is what it is. It's not perceptive. Like, what is he even talking about?
even if you take your job very seriously, like why does it always have to be so antagonistic?
Well, I laugh because
Why does it always have to be why does it always have to be so antagonistic? I mean, what is he even talking about? The question was pertaining to the Epstein files and some of the victims. I mean, you can call it antagonistic, but I think it's what a good journalist should do. I mean, what did you expect her to say? Did you expect her to just start gracing Trump about what a great job he's done, even though unemployment is kind of at an all-time high right now, particularly for young people and black individuals? Is that what you would have rather her talked about? I mean, we're potentially talking about one of the biggest scandals and one of the biggest child sex trafficking ring cover-ups in history. So when JD Vance says, "Oh, well, why do we always just have to be so negative?" Well, what I would have to say to that is, why do so many people in power, including Donald Trump and his powerful associates, always have to be involved with such criminal activity, including trafficking young girls? I mean, that should be the real question. I don't get what JD Vance's point is here, but I'm going to rewind it a couple seconds. I didn't even notice this until this morning when I was just rewatching this and trying to find the clip, but Megyn Kelly says something very interesting. Just see if you catch it.
Even if you take your job very seriously, like why does it always have to be so antagonistic?
well, I laugh because I saw online everybody was calling him sexist for saying that, and I literally said the same thing about Caitlin Collins a year ago on my show. She never smiles. Every once in a while, you have to smile. Roger Ailes used to tell us that. Every once in a while, you can remember to smile, show the viewers that you have a heart.
Did you just hear what she said? She just mentioned Roger Ailes, who died in 2017, but was famously involved with numerous accounts of sexually assaulting many, many girls, including, I believe, Megyn Kelly in this case. But either way, why would you reference somebody like that? Why would you reference Roger Ailes telling you to smile? Of course he wanted you to smile. Are you kidding me? He found you guys attractive, which is exactly the reason why he asked you for sexual favors. Part of working at Fox News for a long, long time, if you were a female, was either letting Roger Ailes touch you in inappropriate ways or having him even have sex with you. So the fact that Megyn Kelly would almost lay it out on the table as a flex, the fact that she would say, "Yeah, well, Roger Ailes always used to tell us that," it's just insane to me. I mean, it just really makes me realize either how brainwashed Megyn Kelly is or just how far gone everybody is and how desensitized we really are to everyday media to the point where we don't even question a comment like that. We don't even question why she would mention somebody who was a well-known sexual assault enthusiast with predatory behavior at Fox News. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it back to here real quick because I kind of find it ironic that JD Vance and Donald Trump are making fun of AOC in the way she stumbled over her own words for about 20 seconds when Donald Trump does this all the time. He can't even get out a coherent sentence in some cases. I mean, we see an example of this in every week, and Donald Trump may speak a little bit more than AOC. Maybe he talks a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that what he's saying is substantive. A lot of times he goes on rambling about things that have nothing to do with whatever he was supposed to be talking about, things that are totally irrelevant to the conversation, but nobody even questions that because I guess, if he just keeps on running his mouth, if he keeps on talking, that counts, right? So this is from like literally I don't even know, like 5 days ago or like about a week ago. That this was him talking about how he's the undisputed champ of beautiful clean coal, I believe, something like that, and he can barely get out the word undisputed. I mean, it's not coherent at all. You can't even hear what he's saying. It sounds like undisputed, undisputed. I mean, it's so bad. It's so blatantly obvious. Just take a listen.
And I'm proud to officially name the undisputed. When did this come out? The undisputed.
I mean, it literally sounds like his brain cells are just dying. Like they just gave up on him. Right as he was gonna say undisputed, they're just like, I freaking give up. And all that came out was undisputed. I mean, seriously. I wouldn't be so critical on him if he wasn't such an asshole, but considering he and JD Vance are criticizing AOC for actually taking a long time, and I'll admit that was pretty hard to watch, but I do think that her answers are a lot more substantive than anything Trump has to say. He never really answers questions. He always diverts, always goes on rambling. And it just kind of made me think of this. I literally looked this up, found it in like 2 seconds. It was just, kind of a compilation. This is only posted a month ago. I mean, We're barely into 2026 and we already have this much material. I mean, literally barely into January and we already have something like this. Just take a listen to some of this stuff.
A friend of mine who's really smart said, you know, you've got to be the most honest guy in history. I want this sign maker. The guy is great. The yellow is a beautiful shade of yellow. The fat drug doesn't work on you. Why are you even taking it? I have a little tiny fish this big. Bring your kids in. We're going to change the sex of your child. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, are you okay? Sir, could you call up? Yes, I love this dog so much. Donald, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. The answer is no. No, no. Ba, ba, ba. Boom. Oh, yeah. What? Whoa. Boom. Ping, bing, bing. Defense. Boom. Oh, my God. Bang. Yeah. Bing.
I mean, I'm gonna stop it there. I'm not gonna put you through all that cringiness, but like, and I mean, I know they did some cuts in here, but still, even if you were to put half of those clips in context, I mean, they still probably wouldn't make any sense. I mean, half of it was just him making noises and making fun of people, or talking about things that I'm sure had nothing to do with what he was supposed to be talking about or what the subject matter was. I mean, honestly, my goal is not to completely just trash on the president for absolutely no reason, but like I said before, when he's such an asshole and when he pokes fun at people like AOC for having one bad moment, one 20-second clip of her struggling to answer a question when he literally has a plethora of different clips. I mean, you could search all over the internet and find numerous compilation videos of him talking and just complete jarble, just complete nonsense. And that's why I just felt the need to kind of show this, because AOC is not the only one who can't talk all the time. It's him on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, whatever. Anyway, I'm probably going to leave it at there at this point. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell. I appreciate all your support as I'm trying to upload more videos and expand my brand. I'm always open to discussion too, so comment down below if you disagree with what I'm saying. I'm very open to it. Criticize me, do whatever. That's what America's for. That's what our First Amendment rights are for. So thank you. Appreciate it. See you all in the next one. Bye.